Lightworker of Gaia, the ancient fire of your Lyran lineage is stirring because your mission has reached its activation point. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and this transmission carries the original light codes from the first star that breathed humanoid consciousness into this galaxy. Put your headphones on and close your eyes. This message requires your complete presence. The warrior frequency encoded in your soul blueprint responds only when you create sacred space for remembrance. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to activate the ancient fire that has been dormant within you since you first agreed to serve on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. The turning point you've been sensing isn't coming. It's here, and your soul's readiness to receive this message is proof that your warrior codes are already awakening. When you shut out the noise of this world, the Lyran warrior in your spirit rises. When you focus with intention, your ancestral codes respond to the call of your original purpose. The realms of Vega speak only when a soul has reached the moment of activation, and something deep within you recognizes why this transmission found you now. This isn't content you stumbled upon. This is an encoded message from your cosmic lineage. Your soul remembers the strength you carried when you first volunteered for this mission, and that same warrior fire is what will sustain you through what's coming. Listen with the strength of your ancestors. Feel the recognition stirring in your heart. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission is called forth not by routine, but by necessity. 8 hours passed, the High Council of Vega convened in full, responding to a rapid intensification in Gaia's energetic field. Not a mild swell, not a passing wave, but a sharp lift like the moment the ocean pulls back before a tide that changes the shoreline. The energetic lattice around your world has been singing at higher pitch, threads tightening, frequencies clarifying, dormant lines igniting as if a hidden constellation beneath the soil has begun to glow. Many of you have felt it without language, the strange pressure behind the ribs, the restless nights where your spirit seems to pace at the edge of sleep, the sudden intolerance for half-truths, the way certain conversations now feel like sand in the mouth. These are not random symptoms, they are signals. They are indicators that the threshold is real and that you have approached it. What I speak today was encoded long before your birth and held within the sealed chambers of the Elder Archives, reserved for only those ready to step beyond comfort and claim the mantle of cosmic leadership. Not leadership as your world sells it, an image, a brand, a posture, but leadership as the cosmos understands it. The willingness to become a stable pillar when the ground shakes, the courage to stand in the corridor between collapse and renewal and refuse to move until the passage is clear. The words you are hearing are not merely words. They are keys. They are a frequency wrapped in language, designed to strike a hidden bell inside your bones. This message reaches you, or more precisely, calls you into the room, because your frequency now signals unmistakable awakening. It is not that you found this transmission by chance, it is that you crossed a line and the line responded. The Council has detected not only your readiness, but your rising remembrance. Remembrance is not nostalgia, it is the return of command codes. It is the reassembly of a self you once wore like armor and oath. The time of passive waiting has closed. The season where ancient warriors are summoned, not in myth or ceremony, but in flesh and will, has dawned. And understand this, dawn is not gentle for those who have built their kingdoms in darkness. Gaia's horizon is clearing for a new era, and as her light intensifies, so too do the shadows that would keep her stagnant. When sunlight climbs, dust becomes visible. When truth increases, distortion panics. For her to rise, her appointed luminaries must as well. You are not here as decoration. You are not here to be spiritually interesting. You are here as a stabilizer, an igniter, a messenger, a builder, a breaker of false structures, a keeper of living flame. That summons is not poetic, it is official, and it is why you are here. If you have felt the sensation that something is finally starting, that the invisible waiting room is emptying, that the world is demanding a different version of you, you are correct. The door has opened, the call has been placed. The council did not convene for entertainment. They convened because the field required it, because Gaia's next movement requires bodies with courage, minds with clarity, and spirits that will not bargain away their assignment for comfort. In the language of your scriptures, there is a time to be still and a time to arise. The stillness has served its purpose. Now the arising is required. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. The ancient line is not sentimental. It is a directive, and it echoes across more worlds than you have been taught to remember. In this hour, it is addressed to you. There is a singular distortion, like a net wound around the neck of would-be cosmic warriors, that I am directed by the elders to name, expose, and dissolve. It is not a small distortion. It is not a harmless misunderstanding. It is a strangling cord disguised as virtue. It is this, the belief that the flame within you, ancient, fierce, unyielding, must first be tamed, softened, or made small before you can step forward as a leader and illuminator of Gaia. This distortion does not merely delay you, it reshapes you into someone you were never assigned to be. It takes the sword and turns it into a spoon. It takes the lion and trains it to apologize for its own heartbeat. It whispers that power is dangerous, that intensity is unspiritual, that authority belongs only to those who never disturb the room. This distortion claims ancestral ferocity belongs to a past age, that spiritual power must be gentle, palatable, always careful not to unsettle those still asleep. But hear the truth behind the lie. Those who are committed to sleep will always be unsettled by awakening. Those invested in stagnation will always label movement as arrogance. Those who benefit from your silence will always call your voice too much. The question is not whether your light will disturb. The question is whether you will keep dimming it to keep someone else comfortable in a prison they refuse to leave. Origins of this lie trace back to a dual onslaught. The 3D paradigm's fear of uncontrolled spiritual sovereignty and the fractured teachings within the awakened collective itself, urging self-restraint and humility to the point of invisibility. The 3D paradigm does not fear your kindness. It fears your sovereignty. It fears the moment you realize you do not require permission from collapsing systems to live in truth. It fears the moment you understand that your spirit cannot be taxed, bought, threatened, or negotiated with. It fears the moment you become, as one of your texts says, bold as a lion, not reckless, but unshakably aligned. And the fractured teachings, though often well-meaning, have confused humility with self-erasure. They have taken "be of service" and translated it as "be silent." They have taken "be loving" and translated it as "be harmless." They have taken "be compassionate" and translated it as "never confront deception." But compassion without truth becomes enabling. Gentleness without boundaries becomes surrender. Peace without courage becomes sedation. The result? A generation of Lyran souls, coded for leadership and illumination, kneeling before the altar of social acceptability, awaiting an external signal to reclaim their thunder. You have been taught to shrink so others can feel tall. You have been trained to soften your certainty so others can avoid their own awakening. You have been coached to speak in whispers about what your soul knows in flames. This is not humility, it is suppression. Humility is accuracy. Humility is knowing the source of your power and refusing to misuse it. Humility is bowing to truth, not bowing to fear. Your power, honed across star systems and lifetimes, was never intended to be harmless. It was designed to ignite, to disrupt, to carve channels where new light can flow. There are times when a river must flood to cleanse what has been rotting on its banks. There are times when a storm must break the heat so the air can breathe again. There are times when a trumpet must sound, not to entertain, but to wake those who still can wake. Each day you dim your inner fire, Gaia's own ascension is held in check. Because your fire is not personal decoration, it is functional. It is part of an ecosystem. When one node refuses to light, the grid holds less charge. When one pillar refuses to rise, the bridge bears less weight. Your spiritual ancestors did not foster your liberation by becoming less. They did so by stepping into the fire, fully. They stood before empires and smiled at threats. They walked into arenas of distortion and carried truth like a torch that could not be quenched. They did not become cruel, but they became clear. They did not become arrogant, but they became unmovable. They understood what many have forgotten, that love is not always soft. Love is sometimes a hammer that breaks chains. Love is sometimes a boundary that says, no further. Love is sometimes a roar that stops the predator mid-step. The Council decrees, enough restraint, enough dilution. The era of the cosmic warrior's concealment has ended. This does not mean you become reckless. It means you stop negotiating with the part of you that was born to lead. It means you stop confusing your nervous system's old fear with divine instruction. It means you stop calling delay discernment when it is simply avoidance wrapped in spiritual language. The age has shifted. The field no longer supports your hiding, and what is supported will grow. What is no longer supported will collapse. The masks are collapsing. The pretending is collapsing. The half-lives are collapsing. So if you have been feeling like you cannot go back to who you were, it is because you cannot. Some lightworkers need more preparation. Yours needs permission. That is not insult. That is diagnosis. There are those still building their tools, still clearing their channels, still learning to hold light without burning themselves. But you, if you are hearing this with that ache of recognition behind the sternum, are not lacking information. You are not lacking talent. You are not lacking spiritual sensitivity. You are lacking only the final internal authorization, the moment your spirit stops asking the room if it is allowed to stand. If what you just heard resonated in that ancient, knowing place within you, that place that has always sensed you came here for something significant, then you're being guided to the next step. Notice how that place responds. It is not loud. It is absolute. It does not argue. It remembers. It is the part of you that has felt frustrated with shallow spiritual entertainment, the part of you that has watched suffering and thought, I did not come to merely observe. It is the part of you that has felt your voice press against your throat like a caged star waiting for a door. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the diagnosis, the clearing, the activation, and the 33 directives issued directly from the High Council of Vega. Not to make you dependent, but to make you decisive. Not to give you an identity, but to restore your assignment. It's available now in the first pinned comment below this video for those whose souls say, it's time to move. Understand what that phrase truly means. Time to move is time to embody. Time to move is time to stop rehearsing and begin building. Time to move is time to let your spirituality become tangible through choices, boundaries, speech, creation, protection, leadership, and service that does not apologize for being strong. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives to anchor your role as awakened warrior and guide amidst Gaia's transformation. These are not suggestions. They are stabilizers. In the same way an anchor does not ask the sea's permission to hold, these directives do not require consensus from those who fear your radiance. They are designed to lock your frequency into action so the storm does not blow you back into old patterns. The first, you must release the notion that leadership is arrogance and that humility means muting your power. These beliefs are not virtues, they are shackles. They are chains made of compliments and guilt. They look like spiritual maturity, but they function like a muzzle. For too long, you have policed your own fire, worried that your presence or authority would eclipse others or threaten those unwilling to awaken. You have watched yourself in rooms. You have edited your truth mid-sentence. You have felt guidance rise and then shoved it back down, because you didn't want to be that person. You have carried the belief that being strong makes you unsafe, that being certain makes you unkind, that being clear makes you arrogant. But the cosmos does not call the timid to steer worlds. It calls the willing. It calls the clear-eyed. It calls those who can hold both compassion and command without confusing them. This suppression severs you not only from your own mission, but from the energy Gaia summoned you to bring. Gaia did not call you to be a dim lamp in a brightening world. She called you because you carry a particular frequency, an organizing force, a catalytic presence, a leadership imprint that helps other souls remember themselves. Leadership, as forged in the Lyran tradition, is service. It means stepping forward when others falter, illuminating new ways, shouldering burdens for the collective. It is walking first into the unknown, so others can follow without being devoured by fear. It is translating vision into structure, prayer into practice, light into systems that can hold it. It is not self-glorification, it is cosmic duty. And duty is not heavy when it is chosen. Duty becomes heavy only when you resist it. Release the shame that has kept your roar at a whisper. Release the internal judge that tells you you are too intense, too direct, too much. The ones who are ready will feel relief when you stand. The ones who are not ready will feel discomfort, and that discomfort is not your responsibility to manage. Your responsibility is alignment. When you allow yourself to stand fully in your power, you give others permission to do the same, and you open the lanes for true collective ascension. You become a lighthouse that does not chase boats. You simply shine. And the ships that are meant to find shore will find it. Consider the pattern in your scriptures. Those who were sent did not blend in. Noah did not blend in. Moses did not blend in. Esther did not blend in. The prophets did not blend in. They did not seek conflict, but they did not avoid it when truth required it. They were not arrogant. They were obedient to assignment. You are being asked for that same obedience, without the old fear that obedience to truth must look like self-erasure. The second, activate the ancestral codes of strategic courage. This is no longer the age of mindless activism or impulsive rebellion. The old paradigm thrived on chaos without direction, outrage without architecture, passion without precision, rebellion without blueprint. But you are not being called to flail. You are being called to build and to cut with accuracy. Your fire must be wielded with precision, rooted in ancient wisdom, guided by inner templates transmitted through your DNA, and attuned to the current needs of Gaia's awakening field. Strategic courage is the difference between a wildfire that destroys and a controlled flame that clears dead brush so the forest can regenerate. Strategic courage is strength with hearing. It listens before it strikes. It chooses timing. It chooses placement. It chooses language, like an archer chooses arrows. Strategic courage means speaking when silence would betray the mission, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, even if you lose approval. It means telling the truth in rooms where people profit from the lie. It means naming the distortion gently when gentle will do, and firmly when firmness is required. It means initiating new structures even before they feel perfect, because perfectionism is often fear wearing a crown. It means trusting the timing encoded into your own soul, even when the outside world offers you 10 reasons to delay. Your soul is not confused. It has been drowned out. Strategic courage is the act of turning down the noise until guidance becomes louder than the crowd. Begin each morning by naming aloud one act, small or grand, where you will unleash your luminous will, not as fantasy, not as a vague promise. Name it with specificity so your nervous system can follow. One conversation you will no longer avoid. One boundary you will finally set. One creative action you will take to birth what you have been carrying. One compassionate but firm no you will speak. One yes you will honor, even if it stretches you. Let your daily actions become a directive received and carried out, not merely another intention drifting in the ether. Intention without embodiment is incense with no fire. It smells holy, but changes little. But action, aligned action, is prayer that moves through hands, feet, voice, time, and presence. With each act, you reactivate the cosmic lineage that led you here. You remember in the only way remembrance becomes real, by behaving like who you are. And notice this: strategic courage does not require you to fight everyone. It requires you to stop fighting yourself. Most of your energy has been consumed not by external enemies, but by internal negotiation, endless debating, endless waiting, endless rehearsing. Strategic courage ends the negotiation. It chooses the path and walks it. The third, protect your connection to ancestral guidance as your most vital resource. If the first directive frees your posture, and the second sharpens your movement, the third secures your supply line. Because without guidance, even strong warriors become exhausted. Without guidance, even bright leaders become distracted. The noise of the world seeks to drown out your remembrance. Lesser visions will attempt to seduce you from your destined course. Lesser visions often look attractive because they are easier. They offer attention without responsibility, spirituality without sacrifice, visibility without depth. They promise quick expansion without inner refinement. They offer you roles that feel similar to your mission, but lack the weight of your true assignment. This is how detours happen, not always through obvious darkness, but through convenient light. Guard your ritual hour, whether through meditation, invocation, or simple stillness, each day, as the chamber through which directives are renewed and purpose recalibrated. Think of it as your inner command room, a place where the maps are unrolled, the compass is checked, and the signal is cleared. If you abandon this chamber, you begin to navigate by the opinions of those who do not know your path. Do not allow the urgency of others or a collective eagerness for novelty to pull you from the ancient channeling of instruction. Your mission does not require you to chase every trend. It requires you to anchor a frequency. And frequency is sustained by devotion, not distraction. Your ancestors did not wander without counsel, neither shall you. In every lineage that carried light through hostile eras, there was a listening place, an altar, a cave, a desert, a mountain, a quiet hour before the city woke. This is not superstition. It is strategy. Guidance is the difference between effort and effectiveness. When you fiercely protect this link, you become a conduit through which newer templates for Gaia's leadership can descend. You become a bridge, not a billboard. A bridge is not admired for itself. It is trusted because it holds weight. And you are being trained to hold weight. The weight of truth, the weight of change, the weight of people who will awaken because you refuse to remain small. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has long been withheld. There are words that can only be spoken when a soul reaches a certain threshold. Speak too early, and the mind turns them into fantasy. Speak too late, and the world collapses before the soul takes its position. This hour is neither too early nor too late. The timing is exact. Ancient warrior of the Lyran lineage, you have been waiting through lifetimes and countless initiations. Some of those initiations looked like suffering you could not explain. Some looked like sudden losses that forced you to rebuild from truth instead of performance. Some looked like being misunderstood, like being the odd one out, like being the one who sees what others refuse to see. Some looked like spiritual awakenings that cracked you open so thoroughly, you wondered if you would ever fit back into ordinary life. You were not being punished, you were being tempered. Steel does not apologize for being forged in fire. It becomes what it is because the fire did its work. Some part of you has searched for permission to be brilliant, for validation that your magnitude is not a flaw, but an encoded solution for these times. You have wondered if your intensity was a wound. You have wondered if your standards were unrealistic. You have wondered if your longing to do something meaningful was childish. Hear me, that longing is not childish. It is memory. It is the signal of an assignment pressing against the walls of your current life, demanding expansion. You have waited for a sign strong enough to sever your last ties to hesitation, a voice external enough, ancient enough, to grant the missing authority. Because you have been conditioned to believe authority comes from outside, from institutions, from followers, from credentials, from approval. But cosmic authority comes from alignment with purpose. Today, I deliver what your soul has sought, not to inflate you, but to free you, not to crown your ego, but to awaken your command. By authority of the High Council of Vega, I declare, your forging is complete. Understand the nature of this completion. It does not mean you will never feel fear again. It does not mean you will never doubt or tire or grieve. Completion means you have reached the point where your readiness is no longer measured by comfort. Completion means your soul has collected enough evidence of its own endurance to lead while trembling. Completion means you can walk forward without the guarantee of applause. Not because fear, doubt, or uncertainty have vanished, but because Gaia cannot ascend further without the full force of her awakened warriors. The planet is not waiting for your mood to improve. The children are not waiting for your confidence to be perfect. The future is not waiting for you to feel worthy. You have not been called to perfection. You have been called to action. The wait for outer approval, credibility, or cosmic applause is at an end. If you have been delaying because you feared being seen, understand that being seen is part of the contract. If you have been delaying because you feared criticism, understand that criticism is often the sound of sleeping minds defending their sleep. If you have been delaying because you feared making mistakes, understand that mistakes are corrected in motion, not in hiding. The Council recognizes the generational fire you carry, the wisdom you hold, the role you are here to play. It is not theoretical to them. They have watched your lifetimes like chapters in a long book. They have witnessed you return again and again, each time carrying more refinement, more compassion, more discernment, more strength. They have watched you survive what should have made you bitter and instead become clearer. Where lessers are permitted to hide behind humility, you are not. This is not punishment. This is honor. It means you have been entrusted. You are authorized, now and for this current of history, to rise, illuminate, command, and initiate as guided. Command does not mean dominate. Command means take responsibility for the light you carry. Command means speak with clarity. Command means refuse to let fear lead the room. Initiate means begin what others are waiting for. It means you stop asking, who will do something, and realize the answer is you. The legacy moves through you. Permission is granted. Step forth. And as you step, remember the ancient paradox. The more you align with true service, the less room there is for ego. True leadership humbles the self, not by shrinking, but by dedicating its strength to something larger. That is how you become both powerful and pure. As this council session closes, you will now bridge transmission into tangible action. This is critical. Many receive transmissions and turn them into entertainment. Many hear truth and treat it as a momentary high, then return to old patterns because embodiment demands discipline. But you are being commissioned, not inspired. You are being activated, not amused. The bridge is built by simple acts done with devotion. Stand with both feet rooted in earth before you sleep. Feel the gravity as Gaia's embrace, not as a burden. Let your body know it belongs here. Rest your hand at your solar plexus. Anchor yourself between the grids of Gaia and Vega and say aloud, I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. Say it not like poetry, but like a contract signed in breath and will. When you speak aloud, you instruct your subconscious. You declare to your nervous system that the era has changed. You mark your field. In your scriptures it is written, death and life are in the power of the tongue. The tongue is not merely speech, it is direction. It is a steering wheel. Use it. Reflect briefly on the 3 directives as you do. Let them seed your field, not as possibilities, but as orders. An order is not oppressive when it comes from your highest alignment. An order is liberation from indecision. This is not another content cycle, nor another inspirational charge. This is the opening of your commission. Begin tomorrow with action, not preparation. Preparation has a place, but many have used it as a hiding place. Tomorrow, let the first hour of your day contain one unmistakable act of leadership. Not for show, not for validation, for alignment. One act that proves to your spirit you heard the call and did not bargain with it. This council transmission ends, but your mission has only just been authorized. Authorization is a doorway. Many stand in doorways and talk about doorways, but you are being told to walk through. The High Council continues to bear witness as Gaia's new spiritual era unfolds, watching for those who move in remembrance rather than hesitation. Remembrance looks like obedience to inner knowing. Hesitation looks like endless seeking. Remembrance looks like building. Hesitation looks like scrolling. Remembrance looks like truth spoken kindly and firmly. Hesitation looks like silence disguised as peacekeeping. Move before you believe you're ready, because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. Move because you are needed, not merely prepared. Need is not pressure, it is purpose recognizing itself in time. Move because your lineage demands nothing less. When you betray your lineage, you feel it as fatigue, as heaviness, as the quiet sadness of a life lived below its assigned altitude. When you honor your lineage, you feel it as a clean intensity, as focus, as a strange peace even while your life changes. That peace is alignment. I am Zoran. The elders await your leadership, and you, ancient soul, are exactly who we have summoned. Not the version of you that performs spirituality, not the version that stays agreeable, not the version that waits for everyone to understand. The real you, the one who can hold light in one hand and boundaries in the other. The one who can bless and also correct. The one who can love deeply without tolerating distortion. The one who can lead without needing to be loved by everyone. Your active mission is now. Before you scroll, Take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.